2 days off. Yesterday we actually got this other project that we're working on that took a good part of our day, and then our friends Brian and Lee are staying at Dockweiler State Beach, which is about 15 miles up the coast, but it takes like an hour to get there. So we met in between in Redondo Beach and had happy hour, which is kind of what we do when we see them. We do happy hour.
Yeah, that's our thing.
Yeah. So today we're back on it. Our plan today is going to be installing the second fan that we just got. We already have the hole, we already have the position that we want. So we gotta just go through the same process that we did for the front one and do it to this one. Hopefully this one will go a little bit faster. You guys already know how the fan installation goes from my other video. Let's do it. You ready?
Ready.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so we got that second fan installed in like 2 hours, basically. Like a quarter of the time as it took to install that first one. It moved a lot quicker. The thing that we're kind of stuck on right now though is we're not able to put the headliner back in and then fit that trim piece up because we need to drill another hole on the roof for the solar wires to come through. And I don't have the little protector that the wires will go through it on the roof. So can't really put the headliner back on until I get that, and that's not coming till tomorrow. So rather than being stuck waiting for that, we're gonna try to move on to installing one of the windows. That feels a little scary, but we're gonna give it a shot.
Step 1, cutting the hole for the window. Consider the placement of the window carefully to avoid conflicts with cabinets, wall struts, or other components. Allow a minimum of 2 inches above or below the cut hole on the inside.
Okay.
So that piece is bigger, the inside piece.
Yeah.
So 2 inches.
Can't go all the way to the edge.
No, because that will allow for installation of screen blind assembly.
Okay.
Allow for a minimum of 1 inch on each side.
Okay.
Okay. Then we need to create a template for the hole out of cardboard and use the inner window as your.
This is the inner window.
So use the inner window frame as your pattern and then test fit the cardboard over the window to ensure a good fit. Once the fit for the window is verified, use tape to position a template on the wall panel to be cut. Transfer the cut line with a felt pen. Cut the wall.
That's the scary part.
Step 2, install the window. Consider the curvature of the wall where the window will be installed. If the wall is flat, then the window may be installed using the rubber seal supplied. No further sealant is required. If the wall has curvature, there are 2 options. Plain sheet metal, as often encountered in vans, is very conformable. Clamping the windows into the sheet metal will draw the 2 together and produce a nice finish. For best results with this strategy, do not cut the metal close to the support structure on the sides where the curvature is present. This will prevent the metal from forming properly. Leave at least 4 inches unless the curvature is very slight.
Our curvature is pretty slight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see? This is as close as you can be. And it could adjust by like 10 millimeters by spacing it out and then just kind of clamping down with a screw. Okay, so we're gonna use, I think we're gonna use the inner window as a template, and the template's gonna be this inside edge, because that's the inside edge, the same shape as the inside edge of the outer window. And if we cut the hole that big, then that window should be able to drop straight in to the hole. Does this mean we're ready to cut a hole?
Yeah, we need a template first.
Okay, template time. Okay, that's our template. This one right here. I'm going to cut that out and we're going to put it up against the side of the van just to see. Maybe a utility knife would be faster. So,
You want me to do it?
let's make sure that this is how we want to cut it.
You're gonna be okay.
Should I do horizontal first? This is the scariest part so far of the whole build. I'm just gonna trim off more of this glue. This took forever to cut. It was scary for sure, but you just gotta go slow. Now we got the inner frame to fit this hole. It's a pretty tight fit. We started with the grinder to cut these straight lines, and we had to cut at least a couple inches of clearance off of all these supports, so that the frame with the screens can go in from the inside. It was scary because now we know how fragile these skins are, so we had to go very slow, very careful, trying not to dent everything. Sparks flying everywhere, but I think we got it done. So let's just hope that when we all put it back together, it doesn't look crooked. We just have to live with that if that happens. So this is the glue that's attaches to the skin from like the inner structure, so that the skin can flex a little bit, so it's not so rigid. I think without this glue, there would be a lot more dents on the skin. We got this hole cut. So the trick is to get it to fit the outside window, because otherwise we had a hell of a time trying to get this in there when we got it to fit the inner window, because the inner window flexes more. Now I'm going to try to put this on, and I'll come around inside, and then I think we can probably screw it together. Do we need to put sealant on the inside?
If it's not flat, then you do.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty flat, I think. So we painted the raw metal edges, and then we've built the frame for this. They really messed this up by having this little notch here. When they welded this aluminum frame together, they welded this notch that kind of bumps up. So we had to cut a notch there to get it to fit right. So let's see if we can get it to fit back in here. Okay. It's a tight fit in a couple spots, and then pretty easy in others. So that's kind of wedged in there for now. And then the wooden frame goes on the outside.
I'm going to hold that window.
Space. Let's do this. Okay. Oh, I see. These little lips are what things hang on.
I see.
Temporarily, I got 4 screws in the corners to hold it in. This is the inner window. Sandwiches the outer between inner and outer window. It comes in from the outside. This goes in from the inside. We needed this 1-inch spacer frame that we built, because the window we bought specifically, we asked for this gap to be between 24 millimeter and 34 millimeter. So it could come back a little more, but it can't really go in much thinner. This is about 1 inch. We didn't want this to stick out into the camper too much, so it was good that it happens to fit. And this fits it really well, actually. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screws that we're going to put in, but we need to get some blued thread locker, because we're not going to want to over tighten this. We want to compress that rubber gasket on the outside. So check these windows out, they're pretty cool. So you can open them by pressing down, and then that's one stop. That's the second stop. And to close it, you go all the way out and then back in. And then once you got it back in, you can put it into this middle slot. that'll lock it. But it will leave a little air gap right here, so air can still come in. If you want to close it completely airtight, then you open them back and then bring it all the way in, and that locks it airtight. So there's 4 positions basically. It's really cool. Oh, and then there's the this is the inner frame. How does this work? This just hangs?
Yeah, it can go either way depending on what you want on top.
Okay. So I think there's like a little lip that catches into that metal bracket. So there's this metal bracket right there. And then on the inside, probably just catches into this little rail.
I wonder if our wood is too, in a way.
No, it shouldn't. Have to push. Open. Oh, there's screws. Is there screws? Yeah, there's screws in there. Okay. So this opens. You can choose whichever side you want to be on top, because this is the same, right side up or upside down. So you bring that over here, you hang the top on this ledge, and then the bottom unsnaps, and there's a screw hole here and there, and you can use that to screw it into the wood. That's it. I think it looks pretty good. We had to cut out the frame. I cut a little more here than necessary, but that's okay. But here, I got lucky and I cut it barely enough. This one is actually not quite enough, but I think it'll be fine. But now I gotta take it off on the inside too. Here we go. Deformed. Not there anymore. I'll be so happy if one of these days when we're working on the van, there wouldn't be so much wind. Today's wind is driving me crazy. On top of having to cut 2 giant holes in the van, had to deal with like these huge gusts of wind. But we did it. We put this window in. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, actually. And hopefully tomorrow the other one will go in much easier in a lot less time. We got the second fan in there in under just about 2 hours. So that's a lot easier than the first one. And once we get the second window in, we should be able to close everything up, assuming that we get our solar plug tomorrow. I don't know when the solar plug is going to come, but that'll be one of the last major holes we're going to have to drill. And then we can close up the headliner. We can start fabricating all the stuff on the inside. And I think we're on schedule. We were planning to finish up all this exterior stuff by the end of the week. So let's hope we can do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
it's not as windy.
I'm not counting on it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Please, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to our channel. And if you are subscribed, you know the drill. Stay subscribed. If you have any questions about our build, suggestions on what we can do, feel free to write them down in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow.